What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, and click that notification bell for the best Nintendo Switch RPG news and more. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this here. And apparently an acclaimed Xbox game will go multi-platform this year. Now, this title was supposedly in the Game of the Year conversation, according to Nate from the Nate the Hate podcast. Once again, a fellow Spawncast member, Spawncast Network. I know Nate, he's awesome, and he's usually accurate in what he has to say. So essentially on his podcast, which I will have linked below, he says in the calendar year of 2024, Microsoft will bring one of their more acclaimed first-party games to a competitor's system. The title I'm referring to was met with high critical acclaim. Fans loved it, and it was in the Game of the Year conversation in the year that it released. Now, Nate also added, when the announcement comes, I think it will be met with a lot of excitement because it's a quality game. I think it's a smart move for Microsoft from a business perspective. If you're bringing select games to multi-platform to Switch and PlayStation, you're doing so because you see the quality of the IP and the franchise, and you want to expand its reach beyond just Xbox. Now, this has led to a ton of speculation on what the game will be, and many have pinpointed Hi-Fi Rush as that game because no other Microsoft game released in this whole generation has been in the Game of the Year conversation for the most part that I can think of. I mean, maybe Psychonauts 2, but remember, Psychonauts 2 is already multi-platform, so I don't think it's that game. This is a game that's only on the Xbox brand and PC probably, so Hi-Fi Rush is absolutely that game. There's nothing else. Microsoft didn't have any games released in 2022 that were there, and in 2023, the only game that was in Game of the Year talks was, I think, Forza, and in addition to Hi-Fi Rush. Those were the only two high-rated games. Starfield was not there, and obviously you're talking about multi-platform. You're looking at the history between Microsoft and Nintendo. You're looking at games like Ori and the Blind Forest. You're looking at Cuphead. They've done this before where they put these highly rated, smaller or double A, or I would say games that would have this mass appeal on a Nintendo base. They've done this before, so I'm guessing that Hi-Fi Rush is that. Now, we had reports from Jeff Grubb back when Hi-Fi Rush first came out that Microsoft necessarily wasn't happy with the performance of the game in terms of sales or Game Pass driver, which they came out and said, no, that's not the case. And it was a big dust up, a big people attacking Jeff Grubb and all of that. And look, I think that there might be some truth to all of that. I think that Hi-Fi Rush came out, and obviously it's a Game Pass game. People are just going to play it on there. You're not going to make a ton of individual sales on there, but at the same time, the quality of the game is good, and maybe they did see a bit of an uptick in the Game Pass subscription rates, or maybe a lot of people played the game, so they were happy with that, and it drove engagement to the platforms. But at the same time, they could also be thinking, man, this is a really good game. We want this to turn into some type of multimedia franchise. Maybe we want to get like cartoons, or maybe we want to get like other licensing deals or just other things with this game. And right now it's pretty much being forgotten, or it's just buried on Xbox Game Pass. And if we put it out on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, or if we put it out on Nintendo Switch where people will probably buy it for 40 bucks, 50 bucks a pop, we can actually expand this bigger. We can make more money coming into the studio. We can do quite a bit more of what we want to do. And at the end of the day, we still control the game's destiny. If it really does well and there's another sequel, that can still just be Xbox if we want to. So it's kind of like a win-win overall just for this specific example. It doesn't have to be every single game. Obviously, Microsoft wants their exclusives when it comes to Xbox and PC, like Starfield, but for this specific game, that's really not going to be anything of a threat if it's on Nintendo Switch or something. Maybe, just maybe, it's a good idea. So I think that's what they're thinking going forward with this. So I think this is going to be interesting for sure. I think that Hi-Fi Rush is absolutely a possibility here. But let's move on to something that's a definite when it comes down to it, and it's not a good thing, and that is Platinum Games' World of Demons. It will no longer be available to download on the Apple Arcade Store as of January 18th, 2024, which is very unfortunate, as in you will not be able to play the game anymore. I think after February, it would just go offline. Yeah, February 1st, 2024, downloads of the game will become unavailable to play. So if you've already got the game, let's say you bought the Apple Arcade or you got the Apple Arcade and you purchased the game just to be able to play this, I think it's a subscription service, you just won't be able to play the game anymore. You won't be able to play. Even if you have it downloaded, it just goes done, gone, finished. This is absolutely scary, because if you purchased the Apple Arcade or paid for your membership or however it works to be able to play this game, they're saying, no, you no longer get access to be able to play the game. No longer even get access to the game. And the game isn't available on any other platforms. It's only on the Apple Arcade. Now, here's the thing with this, guys. Obviously, Platinum Games made this game. They have a deal with Apple for this game, so that's cool that Apple came in to fund a new IP for them and to fund something that I think that they wholly own. I'm pretty sure they would be crazy to let Apple have ownership of that IP. But at the same time, like, they could be porting this game to consoles. They could be porting it to Switch and to PC or to Xbox or to PlayStation. So I'm hoping that's what this means, because the all digital future is scary. They can just remove access for you to play even if you've already downloaded the game, which is why I always advocate for this, guys. Listen, I know there's a lot of I need my convenience digital people. It's better. I get you. I understand you, fam. Like, I understand. I buy digital games too, but we need the balance. There needs to be physical and digital, and they need to work in tandem. It's checks and balances. It's the reason why you don't just give one person supreme power of the world so they don't get drunk off of power. You need checks and balances when it comes down to it. You need physical checking digital, and you need digital checking physical when it comes to sales, prices, availability, and the economy in terms of how gamers buy things. It keeps peeps honest that run these storefronts and everything. If there's a sale physical that's doing really well, you'll see the digital storefronts do it. Sometimes if you see a digital storefront sale, you'll see the physical adjust when it comes to the retailers. We need this. And when developers, or more like publishers or whoever's running everything, can just simply take away access of a game that you already purchased or that you have downloaded, that is a scary, scary thing. So just keep that in mind, all digital peeps. Listen, I want both, and I want both effectively. That's the best way in order for consumers to go forward. That's the best for consumers on both paths. Or if you're a hybrid like myself, where I do buy digital and I also buy physical as well. So very unfortunate news here. Let's see what happens in the future. Now, let's move on to Hunter x Hunter. Yes, I'm very excited for this because we've got a brand new Hunter x Hunter game that was announced. I talked about it in live streams. I did not talk about it in a video, but now we have more information. Not much, but here's why you should be excited for this new Hunter x Hunter game. I don't think it's going to be another run-of-the-mill arena fighter, because this is developed by Aiding. Now, Aiding, for those who don't know, they made the incredible Clash of Ninja fighting games on the GameCube and the Wii before Bandai Namco swooped in and bought the exclusive license for Naruto, and nobody else can make anything, and we got Ninja Storm games till the end of time. So Aiding, they are a developer that worked on multiple different big fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom and other titles as well. They are very talented developers, and they have finally gotten their own chance to go back into the anime arena and make something interesting with a Hunter x Hunter game and a Hunter x Hunter license. This is awesome to see here. So we've got the official name of it. It's called Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. So very cool. Nen Impact. You guys all know Nen, obviously the energy source that Hunter x Hunter the anime uses. Publisher Bushiroad Games and developer Aiding have officially announced Hunter x Hunter fighting game Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. Platforms and a release date were not announced, so that's very unfortunate with that. But we also have a teaser trailer that you guys are seeing right here and screenshots as well. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-on-3 fighting game. So you're probably going to use one character and you're going to be able to tag out or have, I would say, like help or substitutions in with the other characters based off of this trailer and these screenshots. Now, I'm pretty sure they'll probably allow you to use one-on-one fighting as well, but it seems like the main system or the base is going to be a 3-on-3 type of style. Now, Ninja Storm games also have something very similar where you're using one character and then you have other characters that can kind of substitute in to do an attack, break a combo, whatever the case is. So maybe they have something along the same lines as that. And it doesn't seem like it's going to have a tournament style setting as well, just based off of the arena and everything very much like the show. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they actually put this together and what they do. Now, Gon is not wearing his typical jacket that he wears over it. He has that off. Kurapika has a bit of his different outfit that he wears as well than normal. So I do like the type of way that they're going with this. I think that there's going to be different outfits, different costumes, different customizations, and everything for this game. And just like Clash of Ninja before, this game is going to have a lot of hidden depth. Clash of Ninja was a game that even was played competitively tournament-wise. It was a really kind of sneakily hidden depth type of game. And for many people, the Clash of Ninja games were the best Naruto games, best anime fighting games out there, as they weren't the typical arena fighter type of game. It was almost like a Tekken light style of game when it comes down to it. So I am looking forward to Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact and what they have for us. I want to see what the platforms are. I want to see what the release window will be. I'm guessing we'll get more information in the next number of weeks, and then we'll finally get some platforms and all of that once they're ready to show some true gameplay. But because it's aiding and because of their history with the Clash of Ninja series, I would say get excited for this one, guys. It's not going to be that typical arena anime fighter that we've been seeing done over and over again for the last 20 years. Now, next up, we're going to be talking about Princess Peach Showtime. We've got a rating by the ESRB. Let's go. This game is locked in, ready to go. It's done. There's probably going to be no delays. It's coming out this year. So Princess Peach Showtime has been rated by the Entertainment Software Rating Board. It's been given a 10+ rating due to fantasy violence. So rest assured you'll be able to play the game with a family and friends and not have any problem there. And the new box art is still there. It's the final box art where people talk about Princess Peach's face with the main one. All they did was change the lighting though and the shading on some of it, give her a little bit more expression there. But for the most part, her face is the same overall. They just give her a bit more expression, almost like the Princess Peach from the movie. That was a little bit of a thing online. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this game. I don't think this is going to be like a game of the year quality game, but it reminds me of potentially even spawning her own franchise like Luigi's Mansion, right? Luigi's Mansion was a really weird, quirky game that came out on the GameCube. People are like, what's going on here? Why don't we have like a big Mario game at the launch of the GameCube? But now Luigi's Mansion has turned into a massive, huge, like individual franchise that sells 10 million units plus. I think that Princess Peach Showtime can snowball. This is a very good condition for this game to be released with this massive install base. You have a lot of casual users as well on the system as well. You got a lot of secondary users, Switch Lite users out there. This can be a game that I think kind of snowballs a bit and turns into its own franchise if it does really well. I know I'm going to be pushing for it. I think it's a low 80s style rated game, but it's going to be fun to play. It's going to be clean. It's going to be like bug free for the most part. There's not going to be any issues there. I think it's going to be a solid length adventure, maybe 10 hours or so, and there's going to be replayability overall. And I think people are just going to have a blast using Princess Peach in all these different weird and interesting situations that she finds herself in with these outfits and like the baking and the sword fighting and the karate and all that. I think that's just super cool. So I thought that this game looks awesome from day one, and I'm going to be picking it up and playing it day one. I think it looks great graphically, art style wise, the music, everything just seems really good with this game. So I'm excited for it. Now, another game that I'm also excited for is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Now, this game is starting to get a lot of buzz as reviewers have got their copies at this point, and they're playing the game and they're getting ready for the launch of the game. I think it's like a weird type of thing, like you can play it like on the 15th, and it's also like the 18th if you have like Ubisoft Plus and any of that. But we have the resolution and details, and yes, it does seem, at least that's what people were saying online, have to double check on it, that Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was absolutely made as a Nintendo Switch game, then ported over to other platforms. Now, I watched a lot of this game, and it absolutely seems like this is more of a Nintendo Switch title, and then it was kind of put on other systems. So it was the main platform. They are targeting Nintendo Switch users, then obviously everybody else can get the game too, because on the Nintendo Switch, it's completely optimized perfect. It plays great on there from accounts that I've heard of people that are playing the Switch version and pretty much what we've seen so far as well. So on the Nintendo Switch, you got handheld mode, 720p, 60 frames per second. Docked, you have 1080p, 60 frames per second. Then on PS5, you have 4K, 120 frames per second. Same goes for Xbox Series X, 4K, 120 frames per second. Now, whether you have PS4, Xbox One, PS4 Pro and all that, there's different variations of 4K 60 with the Pro models, or 1080p 60 as well with the original Xbox One, Xbox One S. Xbox Series is going to be 1440p 60 frames per second. But either way, no matter what platform you're playing this on, it is a highly optimized experience, and people are talking about this being kind of a innovation on the Metroidvania style of gameplay. Now, when this game first was shown off, some people were negative on it for reasons that I won't get into right now, but for myself, I was very excited about this game. I'm like, whoa, this looks like Metroid Dread, and they were absolutely inspired, in my opinion, by Metroid in a type of way, and even Metroid Dread, after that game came out, probably adjusting and fine-tuning, because this game has been in development for, I think, like 4 to 5 years or something like that. So absolutely targeting Nintendo Switch, people that love the 2D Metroidvania games like Hollow Knight, in addition to Ori, of course, Metroid, Castlevania. Those all do incredibly well on Nintendo platforms, so I can understand with all of that. And the game's looking super good. I like what's going on here. I think that the game is going to be awesome. We've gotten reports even as far back as with Jack Keighley playing the game for the Summer Games Fest or something, that it runs at 60 frames per second on Switch. So they actually were giving people access to the Switch version first. So that's definitely a good sign overall. This game was developed by Ubisoft Montpellier, so they made Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends is awesome. When I heard that, I was like, it's a wrap. This game's going to be good. So I will be playing the game early and have my impressions, or I'll be streaming it, so you guys can look out for that. But yeah, do not sleep on Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I actually had it in my most anticipated Nintendo Switch and RPG games for 2024. I had it in that video. Some people were like, what, that game? I'm like, yes, that game. I think it's going to be really good. So that's going to wrap it up for this video here, guys. What did you think about all the different news that we had? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out more content right here on screen from PlayerEssence. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.